Welcome to the Radio Amateur channel, and today we're going to look at simple wire antennas that are good for both general purpose and DXing. The first is the half sloper, which is a quarter wavelength radiator, and you can figure that out by using 234 divided by the frequency in megahertz. And you might want to add a couple inches extra just so when you go to tune for best SWR that you have something to work with rather than having to add on. If you look at the diagram, you can see that there are two insulators at each end with a pigtail that comes off at the top. And there's rope at the top and the bottom. The lengths will depend on your mounting situation. And what you will do is connect this to a metal mast or to a tower. And then you will take your coax center conductor and connect that to the pigtail. And then the shield of your coax is then bonded to either your tower or to the metal mast. And you can use a hose clamp for that. Just make sure that you have a good connection and that you seal it good with either some tape or whatever kind of weather sealant you want to use. And this should be about a quarter wavelength above ground level at the bottom. And you can also kind of face this in the direction that you want to favor. You will get a little bit of gain in the direction that it's facing due to it's mounted on a pole or a tower. It won't be a lot, but you will get a little, and you'll have a little bit lower radiation angle, which will make it better for DX. And you want to take this and pull the bottom out so that the angle between the post and the element is 45 to 60 degrees. The next antenna is the sloping dipole, and this is just a half wavelength dipole. And you can figure that out by using 468 divided by the frequency in megahertz. And you want to trim it for the best SWR at the frequency range that you plan on using it for. And if you look at the diagram, there's an insulator on both ends with a rope, and you can use the top rope to either pull it up or just directly attach it a little bit away from the tower or the metal mast that you have. And then at the bottom end, you can take the rope and attach it to either a stake that you've driven in the ground, or you could use, like I used to use, a cinder block. And that way I could kind of move it around to the directions that I wanted better coverage in. Now you do get a little bit of gain just because you have it mounted in front of a pole or a tower, but it's not going to be like a beam or anything, but you will get a little bit of gain. And your maximum radiation is going to be straight off the front. And then you want to have this about a quarter wavelength above the ground if you can get it, or higher. But if you can't, it'll work fine. You'll just have a little bit slightly less performance. And there are some hams that mount 4 of these around their tower at equal distance, and then have a antenna switch so they can switch between them to whichever one is working the best in that direction. So you might want to try these out. They're relatively simple antennas to build, and they're not too hard to mount, and you get pretty good coverage with them. They work pretty well, and like I said, I used to use these on mostly on 20 and 15 meters, and work quite a few stations DX-wise, and they will work pretty good for DX just because they have a little bit lower radiation angle. So anyway, I hope you're able to try these out, and they work out fine for you. You can try both and see what works best for you. Thank you for coming to the Radio Amateur channel. Like and subscribe. Have a great day, and 73.